We're looking at a market that's hitting record highs. Are these types of highs more to come? Larry Tentarelli thinks I guess he'll tell us. I think he's a little bullish. Chief Technical Strategist, Blue Chip Daily Trend Report. Thank you so much for being with us. I was just saying the NASDAQ and the S&P have hit some highs. Do you foresee more highs between now and the end of the year?
I do. These are very bullish trends right now. One of the strongest buy signals that we can get is new all-time highs. That indicates no overhead resistance. So there's no sellers over top looking to sell into those prices. So it's a very strong trend right now.
So nobody's selling and taking a profit?
Well, I don't want to say nobody's selling, but what happens is when you have stocks that are way down and people paid much higher prices, as the prices go up, people tend to sell into that. But when you have no overhead resistance, there's generally less selling.
So that's good news here. I know you have some stock picks that I do want to get to.
Sure.
But what will be the catalysts that will continue to move us higher in this bullish trend?
We've got earnings starting next week. I think that's going to be a key catalyst to see how these big companies report.
So you think that the outlook, for example, Delta surprised folks today.
Right.
Right? You expect more positive surprises?
It's tough to say. The trends are strong. So we've seen the big banks break out, like JP Morgan ahead of earnings. The big tech stocks are breaking out ahead of earnings. So the market is expecting strong guidance.
Nobody's worried about tariffs?
We're still worried, but the market's really adjusted to the tariff cycle. April 9th, we saw the lows with the 90-day tariff pause. And the markets have done a good job of working through and adjusting.
And at the same time, I think, everybody was worried about the big, beautiful bill, and that went through, and it's been relatively quiet here in the market. Could the tariffs really jostle the markets? And if it does, if we have some volatility, is that a buying opportunity if we dip?
I think so. As long as we stay in these uptrends, I think that the pullbacks will remain viable. And I've been surprised at how well the markets have worked through tariffs and the big, beautiful bill. And they really worked through almost all the news that's out there. So the markets have been very strong.
And so at this point, let's talk about some of the names that you really like. You like Uber,
yes,
right? I want to hear why you like Uber.
So
where do you
Uber,
think this is headed?
I use Uber all the time, so I've got a bias there, but it's been breaking out to new all-time highs. They're the global leader in ride transportation services, and they've got key partnerships with Waymo, Cruise, and other robo-taxi services, which I think could be a big growth driver going forward.
Yeah, it's incredible. Right now it's at hit a high of 97.72, and year to date it's up over 60%. So certainly a great performance. And if you got lucky to buy on dips, you could have done even better.
Sure.
What about, is it GE Vernova you have here?
Yes.
Yeah, tell me about that.
So GE Vernova is all things power. They've got nuclear exposure. They've got exposure to electrification. That's a key theme right now with the AI data center build out. Also, there's some bullish tailwinds with the White House executive orders on nuclear. GE Vernova is another stock breaking out to new highs. And what you'll see is that all of my picks basically have the same chart. So regardless of the sector, I'm looking for confirmed uptrends breaking out ideally to new highs.
So you love this momentum that you're seeing. You want to just keep riding the wave. It's not time to get out yet. When we think about some of the software stocks, you have CrowdStrike in there.
Right. CrowdStrike is a leader in cybersecurity. That's a key growth theme. And CrowdStrike, they're the fundamental leader, above average sales and earnings growth. They're the technical leader. And it's really one of my favorite stocks. It's a high volatility stock, so when it pulls back, it can have sharp pullbacks, but a very strong tailwind for that stock.
And what about Snowflake? Where does that fit in?
Snowflake's very interesting. They're in data analytics, somewhat of a competitor to Palantir. They're in the same space. But Snowflake was a laggard for about 3 years while everything else was breaking out. Snowflake really couldn't get out of its own way. It recently cleared $200, which was a resistance level going back 3 years. And now it's breaking out 52-week highs. And for the first time, they're expected to be profitable. They've been losing money for years. They're projected to be profitable over the next 12 months.
Yeah, it's really been jumping. It says Snowflake stock jumps 45%. AI Data Cloud drives the record revenue. It's not, you said a 52-week high, that's correct. The last high that I see prior was $237. You think it can get to that?
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Very strong trend. Once it cleared that $200 level, that $200 level was resistance for 3 years. It would run up to 200, go back down, run up, go back down. Now that it's broken through, I think we're looking for more new highs.
Yeah, understood. There's more. You have RTX, which used to be Raytheon.
Yes.
Tell me about RTX.
Very bullish in defense. They're a key player in the Golden Dome missile defense system. They've got bullish tailwinds from the White House. Very, very strong chart. And really global defense, whether it's in the US or in Europe, global defense is very strong.
Yeah, aerospace and defense. So a lot of those names, a lot of people have been getting into those. They like some of the names abroad too, that doing the same thing in aerospace and defense.
Europe
right?
defense, yeah.
Right?
The European defense sector has been very strong. You've got stocks like BAE Systems, Rolls-Royce Holdings. There's a lot of strength in Europe as well.
And what's the final thought here? I mean, if you have cash, do you put it to work or sort of keep it for the rainy day here? What's the allocation of the portfolio, do you think?
I'm 100% invested right now. And we've been 100% invested probably for the past few weeks or so. This is the type of market environment that maybe I'd hold 2% cash, would be on the high end. But as long as these trends remain as strong as they are, you've got rising 10-week moving average, rising 40-week moving average. You've got breakouts in all sectors. If you think about it, we've talked about defense, tech, nuclear. I would look to continue to add.
You also said the Fed's cautious and not cutting.
Yeah, the Fed can take a wait-and-see approach right now. The labor market's very strong, and inflation is still above target. So as long as you have that combination, there's really no reason for the Fed to cut yet. I know that that's a very debatable topic, but right now from the Fed's position, if the labor market is strong, which it is, and inflation's above target, which it is, why would they cut yet?
Larry Tentarelli, Chief Technical Strategist, Blue Chip Daily Trend Report. Thank you so much for being with us. Great to see you. Thank you.